In this video, I'll show you how to get the best US dollar to Philippine peso exchange rate. Today's exchange rate found online is 55.77. I will show you how to get 55.59. On a transfer, your fee is 0.3%, not 3%, 0.3% or 3 cents on every 10 US dollars. We will get this optimal exchange rate using a foreign debit card in a Philippines ATM machine. I am withdrawing dollars from a US checking account. I am receiving pesos from an ATM machine in the Philippines. The ATM fee must be factored into the exchange rate computation. There's no cheating here. In this previous video, I showed you how to transfer US dollars to a Philippine dollar bank account for free. I'm bringing this up for a reason. I want to know which is the better exchange rate. Going to a money changer with a stack of US dollars or using a foreign debit card at a Philippines ATM. Now, someone out there watching is raising their hand and shouting out the answer, ooh, USAA, Charles Schwab. USAA is a credit union only available to U.S. military members and their families. I did work for the U.S. military. Well, it's how I learned Arabic. Marhaba Sadiq. Kerach. I am not eligible for USAA. The downside to USAA is that it has a limit of $10 per month for ATM fee reimbursement. My last ATM charge at a Philippines ATM was $4.50. Do the math. Only 2 free ATM withdrawals per month with USAA. There's also a caveat with USAA. The website says there's a 1% service charge that may be levied against foreign transfers. I'm not a member of USAA, so I cannot see the terms of service for each account type. I do not know when USA charges the 1% fee and when it does not charge a 1% fee. Charles Schwab's checking account has no minimum account balance. There's no service charge such as USA's 1% foreign transfer fee. Nada, nine, nope. There is no 1% fee. All ATM fees for Schwab are reimbursed. There's no $10 per month limit. Before you dance a jig in celebration, let's look at the exchange rate. We know today's exchange rate is 55.77. If you look at my Schwab withdrawal from a Philippines ATM, the exchange rate looks like a lame 52.94. Schwab rebates the ATM fees at the end of the month. Once the $4.50 ATM fee is returned to my account, Schwab's rate is 55.59. Schwab is just a little less than what the web search shows us as today's exchange rate. I went to my best local money changer. See this video on how to compare money changers. I am only getting 55.35 for my stack of $100 bills. It is better to use the Schwab ATM card than exchanging physical dollars directly. Now, I'm going to say something that will get some of you angry. If you live in the province far from a major city, the exchange rate for your physical US dollars will be less than 55.35. Exchange rates are just worse in the province. If you use a Schwab card at an ATM in the province, you will still get the better exchange rate that Schwab gives you. Use an ATM card in the province. We all agree Schwab is better than cash. Well, what about Wise, Remitly, things like that? Wise shows you a good rate of 55.83 on their website. No, they're lying. It appears to be, better than Schwab. Wise is charging you a $7.41 fee. That will bring the exchange rate down to 44.91. Now, Wise charges less in fees the more amount of money you send, but Schwab is still going to get a better exchange rate than Wise. What about credit cards? Using my Capital One Saver card and selecting pesos as a currency, I got 55.56 on the same date I did the Schwab withdrawal of 56.59. They're the same number, 55.56 and 55.59. They are the same number, just separated by a couple of hours. I get 3% back in rewards on restaurants and grocery stores with a Capital One Saver. This jumps my exchange rate to 57.27. My Fidelity credit card gets 2% back all the time, which means I'm really getting 56.59. Even a 1% credit card gets 56.08. Any credit card with no international transaction fee that gets a reward is better than a Schwab ATM withdrawal. Credit cards have better fraud protection than debit cards. I will go with a credit card any day over my Schwab debit card, especially at a store or restaurant where I get 3% back. Also, I showed you a trick in this video how to get your wife a credit card or to get a spare credit card for yourself in case one is compromised. This will not work with a Schwab debit card. You must be over 18 and have a US Social Security number to get a Schwab debit card. One warning, 3 years ago, my friend Rick tried out his Schwab ATM card for the first time in the Philippines. The card was confiscated by the ATM and, well, Rick never tried again. He bailed on Schwab. Obviously, my Schwab card has not been sucked into an ATM's black hole. When you open a Schwab checking account, you're required to open a brokerage account at the same time. This is not a crisis. Just leave the brokerage account empty unless you need it for something. Now, I've heard other expats suggest using Fidelity checking accounts or Navy Federal Credit Union checking accounts to get similar services. Sounds like future videos to me. Please use ATMs wisely, such as inside a mall or inside of a grocery store. We don't want a repeat of this incident. Catch you in the next one. The formal video is over with. I have some USAA numbers. These were provided to me in a Philippines expat Facebook group. I cannot see the numbers on the bank statements myself, so take these numbers at face value. USA had an exchange rate of 54.79 compared to today's exchange rate of 55.77. No, 54.79 seems to indicate a 1% service fee. Without the service fee, the exchange rate would be 55.34. Schwab seems to do a better job than USAA. I can't verify the USA numbers, so they're not part of the official video. Unofficially, Schwab is the better choice. Out.